happiness and success, family. This video is for anyone out there who finds themselves being quite impatient, kind of feeling quite down on themselves, not feeling like they're where they want to be in their lives and so on and so forth. And, you know, I can attest to this because, you know, just a few short years ago, even though I was accomplishing and achieving, you know, some really amazing things in my life, you know, there were times in my life when I was trying to force things to happen. You can feel it within you, like there's a difference between working really hard on pushing yourself and giving your all into some amazing endeavor, like that's incredible. And there's a difference between trying to force something to happen. Sometimes you can tell when you're forcing something to happen. Normally it means you're being quite impatient. You're maybe, you know, whenever you achieve something, you never achieve anything completely on one's own. You'll need some other person's resources or support or so on and so forth. So when you try and force things to happen, it means you're trying to force some like decisions or an outcome or a certain meeting or a certain phone call. You're trying to force things to happen, and that's not how it's meant to be. You need to come from a place of inner peace, gratitude, happiness, joy, and complete discipline, and to be completely persistent. And when you mesh these kind of qualities and aptitudes together, I mean, amazing things will flourish, and you start to attract all kinds of, they call it luck and fortune, but really, you know, fortune favors the brave, they say, and there's some great truth to that idiom. So I want to talk to you about social media. All right, and it's a little bit ironic because most of you are watching this on social media. I've got mixed feelings about social media. Now, if you're going to use social media to kind of to learn, to grow, to challenge yourself, or to use it like I do for business reasons as well as inspiring and helping others, like, you've got to be careful with how much you use it. Okay, if you're just using it purely for distractive reasons, to kind of like change your focus, change your state, even if you're using it purely for entertainment reasons only, like, that's quite limited. This is just my opinion, you don't have to agree. But what happens is this, like, the average person uses Instagram, say, 150 times per day. You know, studies have now shown that people who stay on the Facebook app for, you know, up until 10 minutes, it's not too bad necessarily their emotions. But anything longer than 10 minutes, you know, it gets progressively worse in terms of the emotions that it evokes within certain people. Like, they become more sad and more depressed and more angry or agitated and more impatient, wherever it might be, the longer they stay on Facebook, for example. And the main reason is, you know, people are often sharing their best sides, their best worlds, all kinds of filters. You know, people are acting as though the pictures that they're sharing is how they live their life generally. Like, it's all really, it's very much materialistic. It's very much based on status. And I get it. Now, the key is for you to have a healthy mindset when you're using social media, because you can't look at these things and think this person has the perfect life and look at my life is shit. Look where I am, man. I don't have things going on. This person doesn't like me. I'm living here. You know, I haven't got much money, and these sorts of things. So the key is to understand and to not to buy into the people's false profiles, if you will. I'm not saying they're completely false, but I'm saying it doesn't show what people are going through. You know what I mean? You know, most, even really successful people whose social media platforms or profiles you check out, like, you're seeing the joy, the victory, the happiness, the sharing. Do you know what I mean? You're seeing their best side. You don't see the training, the hours of heart attack, how sore they become, how mentally exhausted they become, you know, how busy they are, how stressed they might be. You're not seeing that side of their world because, you know, no one wants to necessarily brag about how much they suffer, even though there should be some kind of movement taking over to kind of give a more realistic portrayal of what people's lives are really like. Maybe that's a bit too altruistic, or you know, I'm thinking, what's the opposite of dystopian? It'll come back to me. Anyway, I mean, this is the biggest challenge that utopia, that's the one I'm looking for, that's the word. So people, you know, it's important not to just share that this is kind of the utopian kind of perfect world that people exhibit, which is, you know, not the case. Firstly, there's no such thing as perfect, right? So the main thing I want you to glean from this video is to not fall into that world of being social media obsessed unless you're using it for this reason, watching this video, learning, growing, challenging yourself, and hopefully I'm entertaining along the way. But, you know, if you're looking for mostly just entertainment, like, really it's just a distraction. It's a bit of a time waster most of the time. But that's just my mindset. I don't watch too much TV. I don't, you know, I'm not quite wasteful with my time, incredibly productive. and so on and so on. But that's just me. Essentially, what I want you to glean is that we're living in an epidemic now where people are looking at social media, they're feeling jealous, they're feeling disheartened, they're feeling displeased with their current circumstance, they're becoming hopeless, despondent, they're not really taking the actions required to become happier, healthier, stronger, more successful, and all these sorts of things. So just be cautious of how you use social media, how often you use social media, and understand the tricks that can create in your brain, the kind of patterns you can run on a daily basis. And the fact that when you use social media, it reminds you of who you are, it reminds you of your current situation. If you're constantly being reminded of who you are now, what you've currently got, like, it's not going to create the optimistic, positive mindset you need to go and achieve even better, stronger, more amazing things, and so on and so forth. So bear that in mind also. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and also click the notification bell, because every single week I release several videos like this, but also episodes, podcasts, amazing things that I don't share on any other platform. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe. Have a great day, look after yourself, and stay strong.